Alright folks, welcome back to the little farm. We're still clearing out a lot of the mess that the tornado left, but that's okay. We got plenty of time to get her done, so we don't have to do it all right now. The nice thing is I did manage to get the road cleared out, and I'm so grateful for it because it just means now I can kind of relax and go at a slower pace, and I don't have to use the neighbor's driveway to get into our place. I love that. It's great. It just makes me feel better. That said, I've definitely learned a lot about tree clearing. It's tricky business. Snags are dangerous. They will hurt you. And in fact, they might even kill you. I feel like this is all I've done for the last couple weeks. And literally some of this footage is actually from January. It's annoying. And I feel like I haven't had much content that was worth our time. Also, I've been kind of lazy and didn't really want to edit all of this out because it's literally just several hours upon hours of tree clearing footage. And don't get me wrong, I think it's still cool to do, but I'm not sure that everybody wants to see an hour, 3 hours, however long, 4 hours of clearing out trees after trees after tree. You know, it's just kind of gets old after a while. So I'll give you some idea of what we got coming up this year. One of the projects that I'm really hoping to work on is, now that I've got this garden built for my wife, I measured it out. It's about 50 inches by 70 inches. I'm hoping to have it set up so that I can get fence put around it. And that's kind of one of my big goals for this year, is to fence in the garden and put in a gate so that way we can plant stuff out there without the deer and the rabbits and everything else eating it. That's going to happen if we don't do this. But I also don't want it to just be some little tiny fence because deer will just hop right on over it. So it's going to have to be pretty decently tall. I'm thinking somewhere in the ballpark of like 6-8 feet. The other project I'm kind of working on is I'd really like to get what I think is going to be our yard and part of our driveway. I'd really like to get it graded and cleaned up because the road's kind of rough when you get off the gravel. And now that we have some equipment, I'll get to that later, I'd really like to scrape the top, get a lot of the brush and stuff that's already there, and get it turned into clover. And then that way we have a really, really nice yard, but also so that it's flat, so that the lawn tractor that we have can drive over it without throwing the belt and making it so that I have to stop, spend 2 hours, put it back together, and then do 15 minutes worth of work. Now that we see the road is clear, I'll let on-site Ian tell you what's going on.
I got this one rotated. Now I just got to drag it out. All right, folks, I've been working on it about an hour and a half now, and I got a decent sized log cut up and a good sized pile of branches moved from the first pile and organized into another pile. Man, these things are heavy. We're getting there. What a mess. And I still got all this thing to do. If anybody wants to come out and help, feel free.
The wife sent me out with some food one day and I had to heat it up, so I did things cowboy style.
All right, got some of that snag de-snagged. I'm sitting down for a little lunch, a little kielbasa, some potatoes and cheese.
We really like having people out so that we can do stuff like hang out with family or friends from church and whatnot. But one of the big things is it's a bit tricky to find the place, so we opted to install a mailbox out front so people could actually find where we live. Don't go hunting this down. The mailbox is just a cheap kit off of Amazon, I think it was, but it wasn't such a big deal. But it's funny because they didn't include all the parts that we needed to actually do the job correctly. Like, I'm missing an entire set of nuts that go with it, so I had to go find those at Lowe's, and it worked out pretty good. The first bag I grabbed actually happened to be the right set of nuts that I needed to install the mailbox. I also was able to use water from the lake because I forgot that I need stuff. So I took a 5-gallon bucket out with me, dipped it in the lake, and then it basically just poured it right on in. Now, not everything I do is farm related. Sometimes it's stuff at the house. Like, for example, I make deer jerky. So my Mima taught me how to make jerky using ground venison instead of using sliced meat. And that works out pretty good. My uncle, he likes this particular seasoning from AC Leg, I think it is. Anyway, that particular kit comes with a cure. It's a salt cure that's really lightweight and real fine. And one of the things I ended up having to do was I had to use my powder scale for reloading just to be able to measure out how much cure I need. It works out pretty good though. Our kitchen scale just doesn't have the granularity needed to get down into those finer numbers. Once it's all mixed up, I like to stick it in the fridge for about 12 hours and then just kind of let it set, get that salt cure to intermingle along with the seasoning. Then once it's done, next morning I usually will stick it in the jerky gun, throw it on the dehydrator just like Meemaw did, and let her go. One of the tricks that I learned is this unit is an inexpensive dehydrator. It looks good, but it doesn't have any real automation to it. So what I did was I took like a Christmas tree kind of timer that you would use for Christmas lights or decorations and whatnot. Plugged it right in, turned the timer on, set it, and forget it. I think it usually runs, I'll set it for about 4 to 4.5 hours, come back, take a look at it and see how it's done. Usually might need another 30 minutes or so, but it works great. All right, then, back to the farm.
All right, so I'm thinking today what I need to do is get some of this stuff all cleaned up. I think I'll go borrow the neighbor's trailer or just at least something, figure what out. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna get all of this headed up towards the fire pit so that I don't have to see this on the drive in all the time. Still got plenty to do over in that general direction. And there's the rest of the snag. As you can see, it's cleaned up quite a bit, but there's still so much more to do. Got to figure out what to do with this. And you can still see it. That tree all the way down there is snagged up in another tree, and I have no idea how to deal with that. But we'll figure it out. All right, so I got a bunch of logs cut up, and then I'm putting them in the trailer that I borrowed from a neighbor. Thank you, Don. I can't ever repay that guy. He's helped so much. I'll get all of that as best I can, as much as this done today. But then I want to get this pile loaded up onto this trailer here at some point. Maybe it's the second load. Maybe work on this one down here and get it moved up to around the fire pit. So that way I can start burning a lot more of this junk off. Whew. All right, I got that pile done. I got the pile that was here done. I got some of these logs or these rounds pulled out. They're good. I've managed to get some stuff from over there loaded up into here. All right, I'm gonna drag it up by the fire pit, restack it, make it look pretty, and then maybe one of these days I'll come out here and I'll start turning it into actual firewood and drag it out. And then I got this big old baby. This is gonna be a puzzle, and I can't wait to get working on it, but it's a lot of effort. All right, I was able to get most of the log or the rounds kind of moved out here in a decent pile. We'll be able to have firewood for the bonfire for days. Looking forward to it. Got my wife a new blueberry bush. Call it the Premier. I don't know if it's any good. We're gonna find out. All right, I got the hole dug, and I got it filled in with a little bit of kind of conditioning soil. The idea is you want to get the top of the plant's root ball just right about a little bit higher or similar to on plane with the rest of the garden. It says Premier, but I have no idea if that's true. Anyway, there we go. One freshly planted blueberry bush.
Really cool thing. We bought a tractor using the income thefts returns that we got. It was good enough that we could buy a decently rusty tractor, and I absolutely love it. We'll be working on getting implements and other stuff. I also made dinner for my wife on Valentine's Day. I took her out and we made some venison on an open fire along with some zucchinis and baked potatoes, and they were delicious. Alright, thanks for stopping by and watching, seeing what we're up to. I hope I've got more stuff for you coming up. Just stay tuned. Have a blessed one.